Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alisha, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. Let's get to your first question this week. First question this week comes from Elias Haba. Hello, Elias. Elias says, what's the difference between look and look like? And can I use usually and sometimes and always with present continuous? Okay, you have two questions here. Let's break down the first one. Look versus look like or looks like. Let's talk about looks like first, or look like as well. So when we use the expression A looks like B, it means A has the same visual or similar visual as B. So that means the appearances are similar. He looks like that guy, or she looks like an owl. So we're comparing the appearances of two things when we use A looks like B, when we use that pattern. So this is what we use that expression look like or looks like to mean. When we use the verb look, however, it just means to direct your eyes or to move your eyes in a specific way. So for example, to look at the camera means to move your eyes toward the camera, to shift your focus toward the camera. So it means to move your eyeballs in a certain direction. We don't use look as a verb to talk about similar appearances. We do, however, use look as a noun to talk about one's outfit or one's style for the day. So you might see a sentence online in like a fashion magazine, for example, that says something like, get this look at this store now. So this look, this use of look, refers to someone's coordination in their clothes for the day. So that means usually the shirt they're wearing, the skirt or pants or whatever, their shoes, their accessories, and so on. Look, as a noun, refers to someone's appearance in terms of their clothing and their accessories. So when you see something that says like, get this look, or I love your look, it refers to someone's style, their appearance in terms of their clothes, or maybe as well their hairstyle for the day. So when someone says, oh, I love your look, or I love that look, it means that they like the way you appear. They like your appearance, or they like your style in some way. So as you can see, there are a few different ways that we use look and looks like. So again, to recap, looks like is used in the pattern A looks like B, which means that A has an appearance similar to B. We use look as a verb to mean to focus our eyes and move our eyes towards something. And we also use look as a noun to refer to someone's style or to their appearance in terms of their clothing and their accessories for the day. So I hope this answers this question. Let's move on to a quick answer about your second question. You asked if we can use words like always and sometimes and usually with the present continuous. So I think your question is if we can make sentence patterns like, for example, I am usually working, or I am sometimes working, or I am always working, and so on. Okay, so the short answer to your second question, if I understand it correctly, is that when we use words like always and sometimes and usually, we're typically talking about them in terms of a schedule, right? And we use present tense, not the continuous form, to talk about our schedules. Like, I always work in this office on this day, or I usually go to the gym on Saturday, or I sometimes eat meat for breakfast, whatever your sentence is. When we use these words, we tend to use them to talk about schedules and so on. There are some situations where you may see a continuous verb form used, however, and we'll probably see this most of the time when we use always to make complaints. So what does this look like? For example, my coworker is always making irritating sounds. Or my friends are always coming late to the parties. So we use this always plus the ing verb form to make complaints sometimes. So when somebody has done something that's irritating, that's annoying to us, or when we're tired of some kind of behavior, you might hear people using the always plus ing verb form. So in my earlier examples, my coworker is always making irritating noises, or my friends are always coming late to parties. So you might hear it used with always in these cases, but we don't use the ing form with words like usually or sometimes. Like, my friends are sometimes coming late to parties is not something that we use. We would also not do this with usually. Like, my coworker is usually making strange noises. We don't use that either. So to recap, yes, you may see the ing verb form used with always, but you probably won't see it used with usually or sometimes. So I hope that this helps answer your questions, both of them. Thanks very much for sending them along. Okay, let's move on to your next question for this week. Next question comes from Yasser Alexander. Hi, Yasser. Yasser says, what's the difference between drugstore and pharmacy, and when can I use them? Okay, great question. Yeah. So I'll speak from experience with American stores. This may be a little bit different depending on the country, but generally a drugstore is a store that offers medicines and those kinds of things. Like you can pick up a prescription medicine from your doctor at the drugstore. But the drugstore also has other household goods. So for example, like soap and shampoo and things for the shower or the bath, or maybe hair dye or things that you use to wash your face. All of these kind of personal care goods you can find at a drugstore generally. A pharmacy, on the other hand, is a place where you go just to get medicine. If you get a prescription from the doctor, so if you receive some kind of medicine from your doctor, you take that to a pharmacy and you get the medicine there. Sometimes there is a pharmacy inside a drugstore. So if you go to a drugstore in a big city, there might be like a pharmacy desk or a pharmacy reception window somewhere inside the drugstore. So if that helps you, you can kind of think of the pharmacy as like a department in the drugstore. Sometimes you'll see a pharmacy that's completely separate from the drugstore as well. It just depends on the pharmacy, it depends on the store. But this is the key difference. We would use them in the same way in a sentence. Like, I need to go to the drugstore to pick up some things for the shower, or I need to go to the pharmacy to pick up my medicine. We would use them in the same position. They have the same part of speech. So to recap, a drugstore is a more general store where you can go for medicine as well as lots of other everyday household and body care things. And a pharmacy is a place that you go to pick up medicine. So I hope this helps answer your question. Thanks very much for sending it along. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Hima Jakampudi. Hi, Hima. I hope I said your name correctly. Hima says, I'm good at writing emails, but not able to speak confidently. Do you have any tips for that? Yeah. So if you are good at writing emails, maybe that's because you write emails a lot. So maybe if you are at work or if you're at school and you're writing a lot of emails, that means you are getting a lot of practice writing emails, right? And that's great. That's a super, super great skill to have. If you're pretty good at writing emails, but you want to work on your speaking skills, maybe a good place to start is just by trying to read your emails out loud. If you want to practice something else, of course, you can try reading other texts out loud or try shadowing exercises with TV or with YouTube videos or with other media. So based on your message, it sounds like you feel pretty confident in your email writing skills, which is great, but it's probably because you have lots of practice writing emails. So make sure to build your speaking skills. You give yourself lots of chances to build your speaking skills. You can do this by reading out loud, by shadowing. You can do this by participating in conversations. If you have a conversation group, you can find a partner that you can practice your English language skills with, whatever. So it sounds like if you have lots of practice, you can get better at something, as you are able to do already with your email writing. So just make sure that you're creating opportunities for yourself to practice your speaking skills as well as your writing skills. This can even just be talking to yourself at home, just getting comfortable saying things and expressing yourself in English. So that would be my quick advice for you. If you have some pretty good writing skills already, make sure to also use some of your time to work on your other skill sets as well. So take some of that energy and put it towards your speaking skill development too. All right. Thanks very much for sending this question along. I hope that helps a little bit. All right. That is everything that I have for this week. Thank you as always for sending your great questions. Remember, you can send them to me at englishclass101.com/ask-Alisha. There is also a link in the description, so check that out too. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, check us out at englishclass101.com for some other things that can help you with your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this week's episode of Ask Alisha, and I will see you again soon. Bye!